Greetings Samurai, FiOth here, and in today's vid we're gonna be talking about remodeling. Remodeling is a function in the blacksmith and there is a bit more depth to it than most people understand. So, first thing first, we have to know what we're looking at. At the bottom right of its equipment piece, just below where I have my cursor right now, it cannot go on the actual icon. There's an icon. There are three types of icons for your weapons and three types of icons for your armor pieces. So when we want to remodel an armor piece, first and foremost we have to unlock it in case we locked it. We'll go in and we have the standard that is like a cross, and then the three icons that I spoke about. So it's three icons plus the initial icon. There are three specializations that you can masterwork your weapon in. The first specialization is tied to the first stat it can specialize in, that is heart for a single blade. The second specialization can be for strength in case of a single blade, and the third specialization can be on skill, as you can see here. Again, always talking about a single blade, the Atagi Sadamune in this case. So what Tecmo Koei actually fixed with this was the fact that if you got, for example, a single blade, a katana, you would always have to go hard. And if you were running a build that had low heart, then using a single blade would be nigh impossible. You wouldn't be able to ever use it because it will always spec out of your heart, and that makes it pretty useless. But the way they made it now, you can spec your weapon on one of three possible stats. Okay, so the initial one you can see is the standard, and it gives it a B+ from heart, a C from strength, and a C from skill. So it is pretty much a triple boost, a pretty low but three ways boost. So if you run a build that has very high heart, decent strength, and decent skill, this will help you. Okay, specialization 1 is all about heart. The D+ you get from strength and skill is pretty much useless. So A is where you need to take damage from. Take damage from meaning where you will take your biggest boost from. The second one gives it an attack boost from strength. Same things apply. We get a C out of heart in this case and a D+ out of skill. And the fourth one is mostly skill, D+ on strength, and C on heart. Now as you can see, every time I swap these stats, the stats actually change, and it changes dramatically when I hit strength. Now why is that? We're gonna see our character here. So as you can see, I have 40 constitution, 40 heart, 25 courage, 20 stamina, 76 strength, 10 skill, 15 dexterity, and 99 magic. This is mostly a battle mage build. It's powerful magic wise, and I also want her to be able to handle weapons like Odachi and so on and so forth. And Odachi, a certain one, ties with my armor set, so I have to be proficient with it as well. So I have very good strength, which is my second highest stat at the moment. We go again to our blade, and as we can see, if I spec it for strength, okay, I am getting the biggest possible boost I could get. Okay, my attack bonus right now is heart. That is not ideal when we want to specialize like that though. Keep in mind, whenever you use one of these perks on a weapon, and you should always, no matter what, have one of these on A+ on each and every one of your end game damage dealing weapons. This has to be tied with the scaling of the weapon to reinforce it even further. So when I max my familiarity, attack bonus heart will be A+, it will be a huge boost. But now I'll have to go the way of strength if I want to take the most I can out of my character spec. So if I want to keep the character as I have here now, change nothing down the road, and want to use this attack is Adamune, I will have to spec for strength, because I cannot spec for magic. There's no way to do that. And I will have to change this attack boost heart to an attack boost strength to make the best out of the stat possible. Now there's another thing. If we go here, if we go to heart, you see that it's not an A- like the cases of skill and strength, but we have an A, a flat A. Why is that? Well, weapons have a certain predisposition, like a single blade will be easier to optimize by using high heart, but you see that the two other skills go to D+. In the other two cases we have a C and a D+, so that kinda balances it out if your second best stat is a bit higher than the third best stat. Whilst here you can have the same strength and skill, and as long as you have high heart you will have the best possible damage. Granted, you also use this attack bonus correctly. So right now I'm not using an attack Sadamune, it's not worth my materials, but if I wanted to do damage with this blade today, I have to respec it and respec it for strength, because my character has higher strength. We're gonna see another example here. Let's take for example my Phoenix Wind here, which is my main weapon. Okay, its standard specialization, the cross specialization, would be C. Here I'm gonna show you as well. Constitution would be C, skill, and a B+ from magic. Okay, my skill though is awful. My skill is very low. My magic is very high, and my constitution is okay, respectable. So this drops my damage because my stat split is not the best possible in this case. If I go this way with very high constitution, very low skill, and so magic, I still lose damage because my constitution is not very high. If I go this way, I screw myself even worse because my skill is abysmal and I should never spec for skill. But if I go here with magic, as I have it right now, I get a huge boost, and that ties very nicely with this attack bonus magic A-. Okay, so whatever you have in your specialization, bottom line, whatever is in your specialization should be the attack bonus you are getting, and this in turn should be your strongest stat. There is a very delicate balance of taking advantage of situations like very good constitution, very strong magic, and very low skill. So this might work for you, but you first have to know where you're going with your stats, and then know where you're going with your specialization, and finally apply the attack bonus of the stat in question. So this is it for weapons. As for materials, you will need masterwork chisels, and you will need money, of course. You will need some gold. There will always be the need for one chisel and about 22,000 gold for divine masterworking. Not too expensive, and metalwork chisels are not too hard to come by. Now let's see some remodeling of armor. For armor, things are kinda different. You're not getting attack, of course. Here we have exactly 3 icons. We have the standard one. This is the standard value effect, as it says. This is refinement. Refinement will increase your defense, but it will increase the criteria for using said armor piece. The core stats requirement to activate the special effects will increase, but the defense will be raised significantly. And here we have reinforce. As I have it reinforced right now, the weight will increase, but the defense will be raised significantly. So every armor piece has a requirement. That's down here. 9 constitution and 9 strength are needed to activate the special effects of the Trident Vajra sword helmet. So I have more than 9 constitution, I have more than 9 strength, so I could go refine, but refine is not as strong. As you can see though, up here it improves my weight, meaning it takes the weight down. If you're running a low stamina build that you have to be on the edge, on the razor's edge with your weight, it might be a good idea to not go reinforce. But since I am using armor that is lighter than what I can handle at the moment, I can go reinforce and reap the whole benefits. I'm gonna show you another example. Here my swallowtail. It's on standard. Using refine will increase my requirements from 6 and 6 to 9 and 9, and using reinforce will take it even further defense wise, but it will weigh 4.3, as indifferently it would weigh 4.1. Now you might think that these changes to weight are kinda ridiculous, but as you can see here, my equipment weight is 6.9.4%. If I go over 70, I go to yellow, and you never want to go to yellow. The character moves like a truck, burns too much stamina. It's like, you know, Trunks in Dragon Ball Z when fighting Cell, that he became too buff and he couldn't move and he couldn't fight effectively. Well, that's pretty much what happens with your equipment weight. If you go to yellow, you might be getting a bit more defense because you're using heavier armor, but you will move like a damn ox, and we don't want that. So this is a remodeling, guys. Remodeling for your weapons and remodeling for your armor. Kinda simpler with armor. Same rules of armor also apply to your accessories. I'm gonna show you right here. As you can see, my Yasakani Magatama to the bottom right is reinforced. It means it weighs a little bit more, but it gives me more defense. Not that the difference from a Magatama matters a lot, but anyway, what have you. One thing that we have to know about this whole situation, I'm gonna go back to remodel. All the gear we can remodel has a plus something beside it, as you can see. Okay, this is not like tempering where you can temper whatever you want. In order to remodel, you have to have a plus sign next to the item's level. So if you have a nice, let's say, gourd, like the one I have here, I can temper it, I can do whatever we want with it, but as you can see, unlike my Yasakani, there is no icon on the bottom right. There's not even an icon there, because it's unupgraded and it has no pluses, and so it cannot be remodeled. This covers up everything, guys. So if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them in the comment section below. I'm covering everything in Neo 2, so sub, like, and share. And until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers.